The nonprofits tend to kind of pull you guys down. I don't remember off the top of my head for permanent placement. It is on the wall out there though. It was a thought I had last night late. I need to put that slide in there, I forgot.
Well, a co-op obviously opens doors for us, gives us an opportunity. One of the things that I'm wondering is why is a co-op required as why is it a degree requirement for this program at this university?
Beyond my stripes to answer the question, it has been since 1925. The co-op program has always been mandatory here. It was mandatory when I was here in the 70s. It is how we are accredited. So ABET accreditation. I'm sorry?
It's part of the ABET degree. That's
Right.
what we define as our curriculum for the ABET degree.
Thank you.
I want to ask a question that I would like. So, I know your co-op office and this co-op program, but you mentioned internships that are, a single semester, like NIH programs,
Right.
CDC, and how do students apply to those, and you get accepted to some of those. Do you all advertise those and encourage those as well, or are
Yes.
we more focused because you are a
No.
co-op program?
I encourage huge, especially for you guys, the one I encourage is FDA. But yeah, I encourage huge. Apply for those. We've had one student did several at different ones at NASA.
Yeah.
You've had
Yeah.
Sully out in Colorado. So no, yeah, do those. I think those are huge for your career.
Because they have the nice opportunity of that summer co-op that's paid for REUs at other schools, and somebody who wants to go an academic route, maybe a PhD, that's a great opportunity to get into a research lab. So I just wanted to ask, are those being advertised and everything?
Definitely they're being advertised.
And they're not being.
But he has to get them. See, when I receive them, I always forward them to Jim.
Right.
So when you guys receive them, forward them to Jim.
Correct.
I got one today morning, so it's posted on the Bioengineering website, but I'll forward it to you from the
Forward it
FDA,
on.
so.
The subtle difference for the students to realize, I don't have a relationship per se with NASA. NASA doesn't really want to have a relationship with me, if you will. At the end of the day, it's applying on their website. So you have to apply. It's obviously very competitive. So by that, my encouragement there is, don't think you're going to do this in 30 minutes. Take the time. Focus. The program for NASA and all of FDA, anybody else, some guy upstairs in CECS wrote this great program. If you leave something blank, I'm never seeing you. Right? In many of the other major companies we saw in there too, Johnson & Johnson, you definitely have to apply online for them. The only difference is, Ethicon in Cincinnati is waiting for a pack from me. If he sees somebody in there and says, ooh, I want to talk to that person, he then goes over to the website and works it until he can get that person to come out of the system. But that's what I mean kind of the relationship. Whereas NASA, FDA, NIH, any of those guys, you have to apply on their website, time and space to do that. Personally, one of my Christmas holiday treats to myself is I refresh my resume. And to be honest with you, I plan on a day. It won't last that time. But if you plan on it for 15 minutes, it's going to look like you planned on it for 15 minutes.
What website did you mention?
For the BE?
UofL, we post in our Bioengineering website and the Facebook, also our Facebook website. So if you go to our Facebook webpage, you will find it, and the Bioengineering website.
What's the bioengineering website?
So
/man.
it is under UofL.
And remember, you don't have to wait for Dr. Gerstle to find a company. If you are interested in a company, you can approach them too.
Brilliant. Yes, thank you. It always, because what happens when you do that is I see your passion, right? I'll call anybody. I don't have a problem making a cold call for you. And my first answer to you will be is like, they're going to love you more if you call them, because that shows them. It is pleasantly surprising to me. I talk about your GPA, but some of you all with not stellar GPAs, is that a polite way of saying it? Who have gone out, found a principal investigator downtown in the Health Science Center, and gotten on. I applaud you, I think it's great. It's amazing to me, when you take that ownership, what you can do. No, excellent point, thank you.
I have question, like some student asking me like they have a problem to writing their CV. Sometimes they write their CV and maybe when you submit the CV is not written in good way. Based on this, they have difficulty to get a good job. So is there any way here in Louisville to check in the co-op office or to tell them how to write a good CV or?
So we do that inside Co-op Seminar. For graduate students,
Yeah.
we'll definitely, if you come in, so hey, I'm gonna expand your question, I'll come back to you. We're open to everybody, okay? Actually, to some extent, I'll say anybody with an affiliation to the University of Louisville. I mean, if I have a request right now from the med school who's trying to hire somebody whose spouse would like to find, who's an engineer, would like to find a job in Louisville. We'll help alumni, we'll help graduate students. Come on in, we will help you write your resume. On Simplicity, which is the job posting system we use, for people looking for co-ops, we basically have one template. We encourage you to use that template when you're looking for co-ops. For someone looking for a permanent position, actually I think there's probably 8 different templates out there to kind of look at and say, hey, yeah, I kind of like how that one looks. You know, so you get a little bit of your personality in there, but not too much of your personality. But yeah, pick up templates, and I'm happy to review anybody's resume. Mary Andrade spends actually most of her time for permanent positions, so she's available to. And I do graduate internships too. Times for bio, definitely some spaces in there.
One thing I wanted to mention on that is going through the process just recently, like when we interviewed candidates for the Helmholtz position. People at the Helmholtz Institute were drawn to when students had just put like that BE 101 freshman design. I don't know if Stephen might have back to you on that, Jill, by the way. That they were drawn to that and they asked every single one, what did you do in that? So it's amazing how just that one little thing that they were really intrigued by what they had done just in that freshman year on the design side of things. So you want to make sure to be inclusive and include all those little things that you've done. As far as you'd be surprised how the interviewer will be drawn to those particular features in your resume.
Agreed. It's actually a great thing, yes. I've learned more about building shoes last year and hands this year. Yes.
You all keep records of the co-ops that lead to employment in the same organization or next steps, such as in the CI, a lot of our students stay on for their masters. And then if there's any difference between students that just do one at 3 different companies, or if they do all 3 at the same company or organization, that could be a selling point of why they should repeat at the same spot. A student might see they might say, oh, I need more variability or more exposure if I do different things. The company always wants to bring back, get more out of them.
I can definitely show that data for other majors. You guys are just still in that infancy, but yeah, no, actually, for our annual report, which I'm kind of working on now for 2015, we'll have some of that data in there.
Also, one comment that I have, like, is there any way that we can tell the student now, if you are looking for co-op in summer, if this is the best time to start to send your application, because after this time, or it will be late and you will have a problem to find a co-op.
I try to, for the summers, we're typically be your second co-op for bios.
Yeah.
So what we do at the end of your first co-op, which is in the fall, you come in, in January, all the students came in, delivered their co-op report, which eventually gets to you through Nancy. And we do what we call an exit interview, which we're trying to establish what are you going to do. You're going back, right? And then trying to understand. Now, unfortunately for some students, both at Zimmer and a couple of Eurofins, actually they're just learning now that they don't have a place to go back to. But no, we started in January. Right, so I've been sending out resumes kind of on a monthly basis, or depending on who it is. I've also got funding for anyone that's, for any of the profs. If you have a SBIR company, there's some NSF funding that I can fund a co-op through. It's UK money, so I'm happy to spend it. They will fund it for 8 weeks. If you can kind of make up the difference, that'd be great. It's not for a University of Louisville co-op. It would have to be for kind of a startup company. As you're getting excited about that, the due date is March 31st.
Okay, at the end we'll have to send to Jim for his nice presentation.
I have a question,
Yes,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, so, as you know, I did my seminar 10 years ago, and I know there have been some changes now. Just give me a quick overview and maybe a feel for, you know, I know that we're encouraged, and I understand that there's a benefit in doing all 3 co-ops at the same company. But let's say I go out and I take a co-op placement somewhere and I find it's not a good fit because maybe I can't quite meet their expectations, or it's not really giving me what I was looking for. What if I wanted to switch for my second and third co-op and find something? What's the policy or requirements, and what would be involved in that?
Okay, so there's a couple things in your question. One is, if you probably didn't meet expectations, they probably didn't invite you back.
Or if they did, or if I feel like it was too stressful for me to do that. I'm
So
putting in
if
maybe
you
80
choose,
hours.
if I've invited you back and you choose not to be invited back, effectively you're on your own to find your next co-op.
Why would that be?
Because most companies don't want you. Most companies are looking for somebody they can have there all 3 times.
Okay,
Ford, which I realize isn't a bio company, if you go to work for someone else, you go to work for LG&E in your first semester, and then decide you want to switch to Ford, Ford says, fine, you owe me 3 semesters. So you'll do 4 co-ops if you choose to go there.
okay, so there's an agreement up front that I'll be there for.
So if
3
it's
years.
advertised as a co-op, the intention is that you're coming back all 3 times.
So most of the companies, and I can tell you because we've had co-ops at the CII, the very first co-op, they're paying you basically to learn,
Great.
right? And maybe in the second co-op, you'll start contributing, and it's only in the third co-op where you get the value for all that you pay in terms of a project. Okay, till then, it's mostly people are investing their time and money to bring you up to speed so that you can start contributing later, right? There's no such thing as a 3-month cookie cutter project where, you know, you can learn it in 2 weeks, learn the whole thing in 2 weeks and start contributing. That doesn't happen. And that's the reason why a lot of the companies insist that you want to do 3 co-ops.
And also,
Sometimes it happens so that, you know, you're not invited back, you might not be a good fit, all that stuff will happen. That's normal. But by the same token, from a company's perspective, they're paying, you know, $10,000 each semester. And when they're making that investment, they want to recoup that investment. They don't want to keep teaching a new person every semester, and ultimately end up they're out of money. They don't get enough return.
Right,
So
if
from
that
a
kept
company's
happening.
perspective, that's what's going on.
and I moved to recruiting once a year versus 3 times a year, which is good for them, because all I have to do now is recruit effectively right now, every year. I keep the rotations going. Everybody keeps returning. I don't like to do it once a year. So a lot of it comes down to, actually, it is return. There's always a bit of altruism on some of these companies' standpoint, but a lot of it is what's in it for me? You know.
So out of
Also
curiosity-
remember, I'm sorry, I'll come back,
that's fine.
is companies are big. So just as I talked about my little career in refining, all right, so you go over to Freudenberg and they put you in manufacturing, and perhaps that's not fitting out, or you're in development. Hey, Freudenberg's a big-ish company. Can I move over here into this department? So I'm still going to get a return because there's a lot of company stuff that I'm going to learn. Actually, you move from manufacturing into development. Actually, it's probably a bonus for development because now you got this little bit of manufacturing knowledge over here that should make you a better developer and vice versa. So I also encourage people when they call up and say, oh, I hated it because all I did was X. Well, did you ask the company? Did you look around and say, there's the job I want over there? Is the bonus of being a co-op is everybody's your mom and dad. And you're a permanent hire, you're my competition. But man, everybody wants to help. So, and I know, you know, within the department, all the faculty, the chairman, but it's the same in a company right now. Call up the plant manager and say, hey, can I come in and talk about how you got there? He loves to tell his story, you know.
So out of curiosity, let's say that it's not my fault, and like you were saying, maybe the funding's not there, or you know, if I'm taking the initiative and maybe trying to find a co-op placement somewhere and it doesn't work out through no fault of my own, Is there support through your office for that?
There's always
Something
support, even no
happens?
matter how it is. It just kind of changes the support level, if you will. You know?
Thank you.
Cool, I smell pizza.
Enough question? Any more question? So we like to simply for this.